Everyone will have
Yeah.
the food they need, said Michael Gove a few years ago about worst-case Brexit scenarios. But right now, people may be struggling to find the food they want. There are vegetable shortages across Britain's supermarkets, and it's fiercely contentious whether Brexit is at all responsible for this, although we'll come to that. At any rate, other foods are available. Therese Coffey, the Environment Secretary, says we should cherish local alternatives such as the turnip. Lorraine, what do you think? Food shortages, have you been afflicted?
Well, first of all, it's not a turnip, it's a neep.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
So that's the thing. No, I'll tell you for why. In our wee village, we've got one of those fantastic greengrocers. It's not like a fancy schmancy organic-y one, although it is because everything is local. So if you go there, you're fine. But in the supermarket, it's crazy. It's like Russia between the wars. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And oh, what a surprise, said nobody at all. And all this thing about that there's a problem in Spain. You look at supermarkets, everybody's been flooding the Twitter and the internet with pictures of supermarkets in Spain and France and everywhere else, and they're all absolutely full. You know, they've got tomatoes galore. It's just really, really sad. And for her to tell us to go and eat neeps, I mean, for goodness sake, read the room. Really, I mean, it is, you know how, I mean, my jaw is never off the floor these days anyway with all the utterings from the crazy people. But you just think, what are you doing, women? Having said that, during the summer, we did, I think it's a COVID-y thing, we started growing tomatoes, because you know how you can grow tomatoes in your windowsill? We started doing that, and I just wanted to grow these ones because they were called tumbling toms, and I just think tumbling toms, what a lovely name. And you can put them in hanging baskets and everything, so you don't need a garden even, you can just do it. But should we have to? No, we should be able to buy tomatoes, for goodness sake. It's crazy.
I think I'm going to have to start growing my own turnips. You said it was a neep, but I don't know. I feel like a neep is in fact a Swede, or at least what English people would understand as a Swede. There's a massive. We'll come to the great what is a turnip debate in a moment. Jeff, first coming to you, Jeff. How's your tomato supply holding up?
Well, I tell you, who hasn't lamented this is children. There aren't any children that are going, where are my peppers? Where's my lettuce? And where's my tomatoes? The better more. And I've got to say, you know, if this had happened in summer, I would have maybe been more upset. But I haven't seen much of green on my plate since Christmas. But that's just seasonal for me. You know, I just if this had been potatoes or pizza, which I know you don't grow pizza out of the ground, but in my mind you do, then it might have been more of a problem. I mean, I realised that as the leave vote on this panel, I might have to defend the idea that it wasn't all Brexit. And it does seem that wholesalers, importers and retailers have spoken to the BBC saying that it's not that. And there are problems in Ireland as well. It does seem particularly acute here, but I just sort of make that point. And I would say this about Therese Coffey. You know, there's no doubt that having all the fruit and veg that we want all the time does have a big carbon footprint. And I sort of thought it's a question, one of these things of who said it. Because if Greta Thunberg had said this, everyone would have gone, what a good point.
Such a good point.
But Therese Coffey, you're like, how dare you? Do you not know? People are struggling out there, Therese, you know. So it's a complicated thing to tell the public. But the truth is, we know that, you know, having all these exotic fruits and veg all year round, it does come at a price. And, you know, when you factor in electricity, that is now like a really... But that's an expensive price.
That seems to be the big root of it all, that people just can't afford to grow these things in greenhouses and so on. I mean, the question of whether it's Brexit, like Desmond Swain, the Conservative MP, was saying this week, in disdain, being told that it was about Brexit, saying if only we'd been told before voting for Brexit that it would cause frost in Morocco. But as I understand it, particularly from the farmer who was speaking to Callum this morning, it is because of Brexit that we have to source our fruit and our veg from Morocco more than we used to have to. Just on the business of what is a turnip, Lorraine, let's see if we can thrash this out. So, in my understanding, a turnip is the thing you make a turnip. I know I talked about this the other day on the radio. Forgive me, listeners, for repeating myself. I just care so deeply. I think it's important. A turnip, in my understanding, is the thing you make a turnip lantern out of. That doesn't seem to be a dramatic claim to make, but that makes them the big ones, the brown ones. What in England they would call a Swede, right?
Right. No, it's a neep. And you make lanterns out of neeps.
But
when I was little,
see,
look,
really I've got to say, you know, we've had the SNP clashing over ideological issues. Here's people with Scottish backgrounds really going head to head. It's all going on.
These are the important issues. This will decide the new leader of the SNP.
Lorraine, to you, Lorraine, is a neep kind of purple, or is it sort of brownish?
Oh,
I mean, it's mashed, obviously, but yeah, because
Hugo, a neep is whatever it says it is. Okay, it's 2023. Mate.
A neep is identified as a neep, and it shall be a neep.
It'll be a neep forever. Yeah, Geoff, did you make turnip lanterns as a kid in the South?
I don't want to play the working class card, but that wasn't a massive activity. If there was turnip, we'd have eaten it.
Right, yeah.
Like Therese Coffey says.
Because I remember moving south and seeing pumpkin lanterns for the first time, and I was very excited in my 20s. We just didn't have them.
Me too. Yeah. No, we didn't. That was really exotic, wasn't it, Hugo? That was huge.